Welcome to the show that teaches you the things your parents and teachers are too afraid to. The heliosblog. Today, Andrew Tate released. Should be interesting. Let's go.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
We're also going to have our Andrew Tate plus Candace Owens interview coming up.
Felicitations! Well done, well done. Truth, let them free.
Listen to me. I moved to Romania 10 years ago, and I found an amazing country full of beautiful people. And I told the whole world about Romania. If you mention the name Romania anywhere in the world, they'll say, Andrew Tate lives there, Andrew Tate lives there. I've done nothing but promote this country. I've done nothing but say fantastic things about Romania endlessly. And when I did this, people would say to me, if Romania is so nice, if it's so safe, it's so beautiful, why has it got such a bad reputation? And I said, well, there's probably a few bad actors, a few bad people who destroyed the entire reputation. Like the few fools at DCOT who just came along and told us that the mothers of our children are somehow human trafficking. I've been nice, I've been patient, I've played the game, I've respected the judiciary, I've gone to every appointment on time, but they busted my house again. And now I've come along saying there's 35 victims. You know, all 30 of those girls, 30 of them have statements in our defense. 30 saying we've done absolutely nothing wrong. Two more are the mothers of our children, and 2 more have never even been to Romania. Have never even been here. They just found random girls we knew in other countries and made them sign pieces of paper. This is a setup. It's absolutely disgusting. Fair play to that judge who saw through the bullshit and let us free. And also, one more thing, the media is complicit. All of you are. When they first threw us in fucking jail, when they first put us in there, you're all running around saying human trafficker. None of you said, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? Where's the pictures? Where's the videos? None. 3 years later, they do the same fucking bullshit. And you're all sitting there going, human trafficking. I'm not a human trafficker, clearly. If you human traffic someone, there is evidence. This is a setup, it's a stitch up. The 3 prosecutors at DCAT in my house, I said, why are you here? There's no case. They said, there's a case if we make one. This is a...
Wow. Totally not corrupt, guys. Totally not corrupt. It's fine.
fucking setup. All of it is. And listen, quiet. I'm not talking to you, sir. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. This is a setup. It is done on purpose, and it is designed to come up with the most heinous possible crimes to slander our name. And every single Romanian citizen should be disgusted that they are spending millions of euros wasting their time trying to put innocent men in jail instead of fixing the roads, fixing the hospitals, fixing this country. You have a beautiful country full of beautiful people, and 3 idiots at DCAT have fucked everything. As for money laundering, sure, I'll approach that. Money laundering, no problem. Supposedly we're money launderers because we buy luxury goods and we try and hide that we buy luxury goods for other people and hide our money. If you buy your girlfriend a handbag in Romania, they charge you with fucking money laundering. This is disgusting. Disgusting. We have children. This is disgusting. Thank you.
Lordy Lord. I like the big vein on his neck as he's super mad. We're going to use that as our thumbnail, I think. All right, on to Candace Owens.
All right, guys, welcome to another special episode of Candace. Here's my theory. I believe that the elites are aiming for clinical retardation. I'm not kidding. I believe that if somebody produced a study right now and said, don't drink water, 50% of people in the world would perish. They would die.
Yep. So I think the Flynn effect is no longer in effect. By the way, if you guys don't know what the Flynn effect is, researchers were very surprised to find that every generation the IQ of people was going up, and they had to keep readjusting the IQ, the average IQ, which had gone up. They had to keep readjusting where 100 was, but it's not happening anymore. People now aren't as smart as they used to be. And you know why? Because they're letting kids use social media. People in schools are being trained to be idiots. They don't actually try to teach people critical thinking skills. Instead, they put all the idiots all together. There's no tiered education system and so on. They're trying to make Americans idiots so that whatever the news posts, oh, I just believe it. No questioning. Why should why should a person ever question information that they're given? It's just all fact, right? And then, you know, stupid woke crap, revisionist history garbage, you know, saying things like white people are terrible because white people had slaves. Okay, how about the Africans? How about the Mongols? How about the Arabians? How about the Turks? How about the... No, we don't talk about those. How about the Arabs? How about... No, we don't talk about those. Those don't count because they were past 150 years ago. So that history doesn't exist. It's only white people that are bad. Yeah. Again, people don't know history. People don't read books anymore. People don't study anymore. People don't know anything anymore. All people are doing is going on with stupid crap like Twitter and X and TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram, and all we care about is, you know, oh, who's got the biggest six-pack? Oh, who's got the biggest rocket? Oh, who's got the nicest, most shiny hair? We don't care about information. We don't care about the truth. What we care about is dumb crap as a society. And then we wonder, why is the world going to crap? Why is inflation so high? Why can't anybody afford gas and groceries anymore? Why is a crime up? Why is disrespect up? Why are people idiots? Well, that's why. There is a concerted effort in splitting society into two tiers: idiot and non-idiot. And if you're not a non-idiot, you're an idiot, it turns out. There is no middle anymore.
Because they would suddenly just stop drinking water because the data says don't drink water. And obviously, I've showed you guys many times in my podcast my favorite clip on the internet this year because it explains exactly my philosophy in life. It's the reason why we designed the second edition.
Cancel her.
Super rich. I get to be one of those crazy rich guys who acts unusual. And they're like, oh, he's a bit eccentric, but he's rich, so he gets away with it. Like wearing a microphone on his chest. Everyone else puts a suit on, hides the microphone. I'm like, get a microphone, bro. Don't care. Built different. Don't care.
Wearing his Muay Thai shorts.
One of my habits now is ignoring all data. It's great. I love when people come to me and say, actually, we've got the data to prove. To prove what, you little What are you going to prove to me? I can prove to you that the ice caps are melting. There's ice in my water right now. I'm going to leave the water unattended until the ice melts. Will the water overflow out of the cup? No. Why are all...
No, indeed.
All the richest, most important people in the world who are pushing this scam buying beachfront homes? Oh, but the data says... The data's from the Matrix, and you are the Matrix, and the Matrix is full of lies. Anyone who actually analyzes the data nowadays proves they're a dumbass. Have you seen that graph thing, that meme, where you have the most stupid people and the most intelligent people do the same thing? And then you have the midwit in the middle. Data is for midwits. You know? Well, the data says... Yeah, the data says... Well, actually, I guess statistically... The pharmaceutical company who sells the jab made the data. Why are you even reading it?
Again, what I noticed during that whole incident, I don't remember what year it was, 2020 or something, around there. What I noticed is as I was watching the news, I could tell it was being more and more sensationalized, and that I could feel that they were fear-mongering. And when I realized they were fear-mongering, it was on the news, it was on the radio, it was everywhere. When I realized they were doing it, I was like, I understand. They're trying to manipulate me. And I just stopped listening to the news. Nothing changed. I was just happy again. They were trying to destroy my psychology. And there were some people that fell for that crap.
Why are you reading it? There were stupid people who sat there and said, the jab's made of 5G cellular data. And then there was extremely intelligent people like me who said, I don't trust these motherfuckers. And we
Indeed.
both didn't get the jab. All the people in the middle were like, well, the data says, and the news said. They wouldn't just make us all take a jab for no reason. Jabby jab, jabby jab. If you even look at data nowadays, you're a dumbass. You should just know. Street smart people don't need data. We've just been around. You know? I've just been around. I just know things because I've just been around on the street. If somebody's trying to give you something for free so desperately, it's probably a trap.
Probably bullshit. Yup. There is no such thing in the world as a free lunch.
You're street smart like me, you're on the corner. You, your boys, some bitches. Guy comes up to you, goes, you want a hamburger?
No.
Not really. Hamburgers are good for you. If you don't eat, you'll die.
Please get out of my face.
Yeah.
You're going to need to go away now because I'm not interested. Stands up.
You should really have this hamburger. I don't want it. If you don't have this hamburger, you're going to lose your job. We're going to lock you in your house. I don't trust him or his hamburger. Why were you people like, well, do you have a study about this hamburger? Do you have some data on the hamburger? Oh, it says that protein's good for you. Give it to me. Dumbass. The guy who got the hamburger is trying to force it down your neck, pulled a study out of his.
It's perfect. We're going to jump right into a conversation with I've watched it too many times.
Well, it's kind of funny because you probably have this also. You have a point of view and people say to you, where do you get this point of view? Why can you think that? What source does it come from? I've been around. How can you think anything else?
Yes, every one of my pieces of information that sticks around in my brain, every one comes from a scientific article. Come on, man. Like they're arguing that heuristics don't exist. Actually, humans are heuristic thinkers. Like 99% of the things we know don't come from, like, scientific studies. Like, for example, the RP. I don't care what the studies say. Look at women's behavior. Look at their actions and tell me that it doesn't exist. It 100% exists. I don't need to see a study to know. Because I have not only my experiences, but the experiences of so many men that I've spoken to. And so many liar women that try to cover it up, but their actions determine it. What more needs to be said? Do I need a freaking paper to believe what I believe? I don't need that reassurance. I understand that not everything is going to be in a scientific paper.
You know, and I'm not one to get in trouble, but I recently watched your show when you were talking about Macron, wife, husband, whichever one it was. The dude, and people were saying to me, Andrew, what do you think about that? And I said, well, yeah, 100% his wife is a man. And they said, why? It's like, because he looks like a little and you can see it. So what more do you want to see? You can see.
Oh, no. No.
See on his face. You could see on Macron's face that he's exactly the kind of person who would be groomed by a man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obvious.
And then it's the common sense aspect where they're like, first and foremost, they are producing no evidence to the contrary. 30 years not a single picture of this person exists.
Yep.
We have plenty of pictures of his brother who suddenly went missing at the exact same time that Brigitte was born at the age of 30.
Yeah.
Ah.
And people
I had no idea about this. Sorry. I've never heard this before.
don't have that common sense to go, wait, that is quite strange. Why are they not able to just easily debunk this? And instead you're going to call everyone else crazy. And
that's called gaslighting.
The thing that should terrify people is the fact, which you describe it as the Matrix, I think that actually is the right term, is that the Matrix works overtime to make it seem as though the people who recognize the insanity, recognize the homosexuality, recognize the pedophilia, are in fact the people that are crazy. Like, it's a complete inversion of what's actually happening.
Well, yeah, and then they call them conspiracy theorists, which is a term made up in order to be able to debunk people that are actually speaking the truth, to make them sound crazy, because they're actually real crazy people that don't know crap. It's funny because that bell curve that Andrew was talking about is exactly the principle. It's Dunning-Kruger effect.
And the saddest thing is that it works. I mean, where did Macron even come from anyway? I remember that French election. I'm certainly no expert on French politics, but I remember he popped up out of nowhere. Some globalist, he was a lawyer or a banker or something. They just put him up there and then he won. The last French election, Marine Le Pen was winning, and then, oh, she lost. It's like, are these elections even real anymore?
I don't think elections are real. Sadly. Again, who's going to win? Trump or liberal, womanist, wokeist, Marxist? I mean, Hillary didn't win the first time, so they built up their resources so that they could win the second time. Like, is there any doubt, guys?
Or is anything even real anymore? I mean, I only have criminal cases in 3 countries currently. You may as well add France to the list, you know. But I just don't believe any of it. And then Macron stands up there, and of course he's complete globalist, WEF. I remember his obsession with Merkel. Do you remember the way he used to stare at her? He used to stare at Merkel with adoring eyes. Very
Lordy Lord.
strange situation the French
They look like they have a relationship.
find themselves in. And when you point these things out, you point out that it's strange, right? You point out and say, look, this is unusual. Even if she is a woman, which is highly debatable. The fact that she's 30 years older, and it's all just a bit weird. But if you want to mention these things, you're right. You're called a crazy conspiracy theorist because so many people are so desperate to conform. You know, I came to this unfortunate realization recently, especially in light of the Kamala garbage. There's a whole bunch of people who want to be slaves.
Yep. Historically, that's always been the case.
They literally want to be. You sit and say, why can't you convince people to see the truth? And then you realize it's because they don't want to see the truth.
They don't want it. They prefer comfortable lies.
Want to be a slave because it makes them feel the same way a child feels when they get attention from
Yep.
their parents.
It's, they are still that person. They're still that kid. And they need their parents. They never became independent. They are not able to run their own life their own way. All they're able to do is submit.
They want to be good slaves to the system, and they hope that that will prevent them from getting shot. Now, we know our history. It means they'll get shot last, but they'll still get shot.
Right.
Indeed.
So you have to make a decision as a man, especially, like, do I want to die first like a hero for telling the truth, or do I want to die a few years later like a coward? And I guess that's where you see the differentiation in the opinions, the dichotomy of the different types of men who are living in the world today. But it's really crazy that so many people will sit there and consistently consume lies and garbage after they've been lied to so many times, and they feel like they get some kind of, I don't know if it's satisfaction, I don't know if it's warmth, I don't know what they feel in their heart when they just subjugate themselves to these people. Maybe it's like cuckdom, you know? They like to feel like...
Yeah, no.
Like a cuck. They like to feel stupid. There's no other way. There's a whole bunch of people who want to be enslaved to these systems.
I think slavery is natural, actually. I thought about this for a long time because I'm going, how could you accept this? Like somebody telling you to stay at home, not see your family, double mask, let your parents die alone. Yep. Everything spiritually should be coming online going, this is not natural, this is wrong, and I'm going to fight this. But they get in line. And even when they know it's wrong, they're still fearful to speak out and say that for fear of persecution. And something that a study that I showed, like a study that was done by the CIA, an experiment rather, to my audience was where they sat a bunch of people in a room. This is a true CIA experiment. And 17 of them were agents, and one of them was from the public, but he didn't know that he was the only person that wasn't an agent. Yep. And they held up a picture of a triangle, and they went around the room, and they said, what do you see? And every agent, went through them first, and they said, square, 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 square. It was clearly a triangle, square, 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 square. They get to that last guy, and he says, square. Knowing fully that he is seeing a triangle. Yep. So what?
That's the effect of the crowd, right?
What they understand is that peer pressure, like the psychology of peer pressure, is a real thing. But it's stunning to me that grown men succumb to this, or something that's unbelievably wrong about that.
Yeah, completely. And that's why they attack masculinity so heavily. Because truthfully, as a man, if you have an opinion which is different to other men, it crosses your mind, you might have to fight. That's just how it goes, right? So if you're a man and you sit in that room and 17 men say it's a square and you know it's a triangle, you're probably looking them up and down going, can I beat them all? Now me, I'm built different. I'll be like, that is a triangle, sir. You're wrong. You're wrong.
You have to be very disagreeable to be able to hear 20 people say square and be like, are you guys kidding? How could you possibly say that's a square? That's a triangle. Come on, guys. None of you went to school. Or actually, what would be funny is make a joke out of it, right? Like, so none of you guys went to school. That's a triangle. Come on.
But you have to have a lot of faith in yourself to be able to do that, right? A lot of people simply don't speak out because it's a scary thing to do, because now you have personal accountability, and then you have to defend your opinions also. And there's a lot of people who aren't capable of or are afraid to defend their opinions, so they just think, I'll just go with the flow. And that's the actual mess we're in. I don't think the mess is so much conservatives against liberals or the sane against the insane. It's this ether in between of people who are just like, it doesn't matter, and I'm not interested in politics, and they're just going along with the system, which is probably the largest contingent of the populace, and they're just allowing this clown show to continue for as long as it's continued. And I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but ever since 2020, I don't believe any of the elections are fair at all. I don't believe that any of the people in charge have our interests at heart at all.
Nope. They have none of our interests at heart, because it's all about the big companies, the globalists, right?
I believe it's a massive racket where
corporatist oligarchy.
One is just stealing. I believe if you speak against the system, the Matrix is going to come and they're going to use lawfare to try and destroy you. I said on a podcast I did 7 days before Trump's assassination attempt that there's no way they're going to let him win. Then his assassination attempt happened. Thank God he survived it. That was a miracle in and of itself. That's been memory hold now. That's been disappeared from the internet.
That's 1984, by the way.
Don't know if you saw this morning. All of the references between Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein have been removed from Bill Clinton's Wikipedia page a couple of days ago. So that's gone.
Interesting.
Nothing's printed anymore, right? So they just changed the typing. And you try and talk about this with people. There's people who understand you. There's people who disagree with you, who are mentally unwell. But unfortunately, there's this huge contingent in the middle who are just like, yeah, I don't really know, and I don't know, and I'm just going to go do as they say. It'll be fine. And they're so perma-distracted with garbage. And that's, I look at like a festival, for example. I'm not anti-music, but I look at a festival and I see people in the festival and they're all screaming and jumping up and down. I'm like, if you had half as much passion for the freedom of your children that you do for this song you've heard 10,000 times, we'd be in a much different position. But they've managed to placate the entire population, and which is actually a really interesting thing. You have to sit and think, how did they make us all so placid? How is that?
Bread and circus.
Everybody just been eunuched to the point where they're sitting there going, oh, well, I can't see my parents. I can't leave my house, but it's fine. It's truly incredible. It's actually quite a remarkable thing they've managed to do. And as they turn on the PR machine once again, they've turned on the machine for Kamala. Nobody liked her. Nobody. Not even the liberals liked her. Not even the
Indeed.
biggest Joe Biden fans liked her. They were all saying,
look at her face, man.
There's no way she could win. And here she is, the most loved person on the planet, like 2 weeks later. It's just incredible to me. They could do COVID all over again, Candace. They could do it again.
Yep.
Isn't that scary?
Well, this is the thing. Here's what worries me. They did the experiment and it was successful. What is the next time they'll run this experiment? And how long? Are we going to be like a military prison? Like you can't leave home, and if you do leave home, the cops will pull you over and ask you to reveal your papers, like 1940s Germany? It's very scary to think about. And where could you move to escape that is the thing.
Yeah, it's very scary. And that's why I go back to this like peer pressure thing. I basically now, when I meet people, I want to know who they were in high school. I think it's the most significant time in your life. I want to know who you were in high school, because it's somehow you see that their characteristics, they just reemerge later on in life. And right now what we're fighting is a system of losers, right? Who are writing their articles feverishly. They hate people that have confidence. They hate people that are self-confident and are not going to, I said that the data says this and I'm smart and I went to Columbia. I don't care if you went to, I literally don't care. You are the dumbest person. I would never follow you, right? You couldn't lead a marching band, right? And somehow you think that writing articles in the Daily Mail, calling me names, case in point, New York Times former writer Barry Weiss. Candace, it's that insane. You are you're like a weird loser, lesbian.
Weasel.
can crawl in a hole, literally Barry White, she would crawl in a hole and die. I could care less. And I say that knowing that there's going to be, how could you say, literally she would crawl in a hole and die. You think you have the authority, right, to tell people that I'm bat insane because I won't get in the line in the same way that you've gotten in line with the system your entire life?
Yep.
Like, you're a Zionist, bought and paid for Zionist, and
Yep.
your job is to convince Americans that never-ending war,
Slave.
while we can't afford groceries, while people can't afford to put gas into their tank, is something that they should just subject themselves to because there's some higher moral purpose that really just serves you and your superiors.
Whoa, you don't think Israel's your number one ally?
It's the dumbest thing. People just say stuff, and that's how you really know that everyone's a bot. And I say this even
Indeed.
against, people who I've...
Again, you have to be extremely disagreeable in 2024 to survive the tide. But also you have to be smart enough that you don't come off as an obvious detractor until you have screw you money. It's a very scary position, actually. Similar to a certain population that was let's say not so treated well during World War II.
had respect for in the past. I really see it because they say stuff that doesn't even make sense. It's like 6 feet social distancing, save lives. Israel's our number one ally and friend. Why would you even make that statement? That's an objectively, on its face, stupid statement to make.
They just repeat it.
They just repeat it.
And you're right, they don't think about it. So let's think about it for everyone at home. Let's think about it. Someone comes up to me, Andrew Tate, Israel is your number one ally. I said, well, they never pay
Nope.
my rent. So they're not my ally. They don't cut my grass. Now, what do they do for me? Turns out nothing. So who are they allies to? Well, if
United States, the rich people in the United States.
Are they allies to the government who are also, it seems to be, my enemy? Are they allies to the people who I don't trust? When those senators who are robbing everybody and stealing all of the money and inflating the currency stand up and say they're our number one ally, maybe they're your number one ally because you can get an Israeli passport and disappear and hide because you're a pedophile. Maybe they're your ally, but they're certainly not mine.
Yeah. That's what they mean. Just toe the party line, idiot. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Just vote for Kamala. What could go wrong? Totally won't be a woke dystopian nightmare. Or at best, status quo, nothing at all changes while they wash the news channels with, oh, female president so great, Indian president so great, black president so great. Well, nothing changes. You pay more for your groceries, you pay more in taxes, your car goes more and more into disrepair, can't even afford to buy a new car, you gotta buy a 15-year-old used car. Everybody's ground down to the dirt. Most people are just woke slaves, woke slave NPCs repeating the party line, barely able to afford heat and electricity and groceries, or, they all have to rent and live in a box. It's fine. And then followed by being jailed in a box, effectively. Can't leave home. Police will get me. Yeah. A harrowing reality. How long till the pendulum swings the other way? How long? And on that, let's end the video there. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit all the notifications. Buy my books like Hunter M, Adrian, Tom and Bobby, Dylan, Renaissance Press, Brian, Andrew, Alan, Armani, and Nicholas. Shoutouts to you, most recent purchaser of both my books, Strategist Guide to Seduction and Quotes to Live By. Thank you. My books can be found at bit.ly/heliosbooks. If you'd like coaching, message me at theheliosblog@gmail.com. I do offer coaching services there. I'll slot you right in. Thank you so much for listening, guys, especially if you listen to the end. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you next time.